All right, tonight the Sharks faced off against a red-hot Canucks team, a team, coming into this game with a 5-game win streak. Now it's 6 games as the Sharks lost to the Canucks 5-2. Bad game, It was close until the end, really. The Sharks pulled Aiden Hill, and, they scored on the empty net, of course. And it was 3-2 at the end. The Sharks had a chance. Thatcher Demko in net for the Canucks. He was pretty stellar. He was 34 of 36. Aiden Hill, pretty bad in the net for the Sharks. He's 25 of 29, allowing 4 goals. The one at the end there, too. I mean, it went over his glove. Yeah, Canucks played good tonight. Had a lot of early scoring. Like I said, they're really good right now. Obviously, in terms of their standings, they started out slow, but they've come back a lot. They really did good in the first period. The Sharks had a lot of long-distance shots in the first period, mostly. There was some struggling on offense for both teams in the first. There were some chances for both teams, but the goals in this game for the Canucks came from, they had 2 from Brock Besser. They had JT Miller score, Bo Horvat, and Jason Dickinson. And then they also had, and then for the Sharks, they had Cogliano and Meyer score. I believe Meyer got the first goal. But the Sharks, they're just not putting up enough effort. Reimer is clearly better than Aiden Hill. Obviously Reimer lost last game, but he still played pretty good. He's having good numbers. He's, finishing over a 900 save percentage. Sharks just aren't thriving when they have Aiden Hill in net very often. Now they're 6th place in the division, 2-game losing streak in a division that is very interesting because the Ducks, obviously 8 points ahead of us now, 1st place, and it's weird. This is a back-to-back with the Canucks. We're going to play them on Tuesday as well. So a couple off days for the Sharks, actually quite a few off days for the Sharks. Almost, close to a week. Not quite a week, but close to one. 5-2, that's just not, you can't do that against a team with a worse record than you. I don't get it. Their offense looked slow in this game. They didn't score in the first period. Oh, they scored 1 in the first period. They didn't score in the second period. And then obviously in the third, they did show signs of life. I mean, that's a common thing with the Sharks. Like the Seattle game, last game, they were pretty terrible the first 2 periods, and then they made it interesting at the end. But, who cares if you make it interesting if you're not going to win? You don't get wins and losses for just scoring goals. It's not important. And Aiden Hill, he clearly is not where he needs to be, right? I think he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of potential. But tonight, especially at the end there, it was ridiculous seeing the puck just whiz past his glove. That was ridiculous. And the Canucks, obviously, Thatcher Demko, goalie, I definitely respect a lot. He did really good. And they had a lot of good offense. JT Miller, 3-point game for him, obviously the goal and then 2 assists. Tanner Pearson had 2 assists as well. Quinn Hughes had an assist. He was really aggressive offensively. He was hard for the Sharks defense to stop. The goals from the Sharks were pretty good. Burns ended up having an assist. So did Hurdle and Carlson. Carlson's been good lately with the points. Lane Peterson also had an assist. But they only had 2 goals. And it was 3-2 until the final 3 or so minutes. And then, the Canucks just pulled ahead even more with the empty net. And then the goal right before that. Horvat's goal was really good. It was, the pretty interesting game overall. In the second intermission, it was 3-1. Sharks, like I said, they're good at making things interesting, but it's about finishing, and they don't finish well. That's just an issue they've had. I think Hill needs to turn things around right now, because if the Sharks are even thinking about the playoffs, they can't have a goalie like him where he's just so up and down, so inconsistent. But next game will be against Vancouver again. Sharks moved to 15-14-1. The Canucks moved to 14-15-2. So similar records for these teams. Sharks now 6th place in the division. They're moving down only. It sucks, and they need to be higher if they're even trying to be competitive. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later. Go Sharks.